Hey everybody, Michael Snyder here, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is March 7th, and right now we are looking at the infrared satellite imagery here. You can see Alaska, BC, Washington there. Look at all the cold air spilling out over the Gulf of Alaska here, continuing these little low pressure centers off our coastline. Some areas are getting some nice sun breaks from this, but snow levels are still pretty low, and you can see the shower activity associated with this low pressure center here. It's going to continue for the next couple of days where we bring a little bit of moisture up into the region here and develop a stronger storm. It's going to move across Pacific Northwest as we go through Friday and later on in through this weekend. We'll take a look at that here in some detail as well. Current hazards, not much going on, but again, this is going to change as we go through later this week on in through the weekend. Here is a pretty significant storm moves across the area. Some pretty good mountain snows coming up, and we could get some accumulations mainly east of the mountains here. Could even see some flakes flying across some of the Puget Sound and Willamette Valley coming up here. No promises right now. Of course, it's very difficult to get lowland snow accumulations this time of year. Looking at day one thunderstorm potential, mainly confined to western Oregon here with that upper level low spinning off the coastline there. Model's been overdoing the instability here with this system over the last couple of days as well. It keeps showing a little bit of thunderstorm potential moving northward into western Washington, for example, today, and I think it's overdoing the instability. So probably going to be confined mainly to western Oregon and the coastal areas down there. This is looking at the GFS, 18,000 feet, 500 millibars. This is this morning's run at 12Z. You can see the trough dominating the Pacific Northwest here. Put it into motion. You can see the reinforcement that comes on in through later this week. And then this system's going to plow across the region here. Nice snowfalls coming up with this system moving across the area for the higher terrain. We'll take a look at those details here in a moment. Troughing remains on in through early this week across the area. But then off in the extended, there's always some hope, and the extended forecast isn't there. Maybe we'll string a couple of nice days together as we go through next week on into mid-March. No promises. Gulf of Alaska remains active here, so we'll just watch this day by day for now. Now here we're looking at the GFS. This is looking at the sea level pressure and precipitation type 6-hour amounts. Put it into motion and you can see that upper level low kind of spinning off the Oregon coast today. It tries to spread some of that moisture northward as we go through the next couple of days, and you'll see a little bit of moisture moving in here. The system moves across the region. You'll notice this low pressure system develop here from 996, and it kind of deepens and tries to move on shore here. Pretty significant storm for some of the higher terrain. As you can see, some snow even trying to mix down to some of the lower elevations east of the Cascades. Going to probably get a nice snowfall across some areas of eastern Washington for this, for example, and some of the Blue Mountains and the higher terrain off through Idaho, Montana are going to get some nice snowfalls as well. As you can see that storm system move across the area there as we remain active all the way in through early next week. More precipitation coming after that. Then maybe we'll start to dry out a little bit there, but no promises. You know how this goes. This could be erased in the next model run. So now looking at the European, similar setup here as we got the upper level low off the coastline there, continuing to spread moisture across the region here. Spins, gets a little boost for some moisture out of the southwest there, develops into a deeper low, moves across the region. You can see some significant mountain snows coming here, and again, east of the Cascades might get some significant snowfalls for places like Spokane and places along the east slopes of the Cascades there for Washington, Oregon, off into Idaho and Montana as well. Pretty significant storm there. We remain active on in through early next week. The European bringing another low pressure center up towards the region here. Almost has an atmospheric river type look to it there as it trains over the area on in through the week there. And then maybe we'll dry out for a bit, or maybe another storm's coming. We'll worry about that as we go day by day in these forecasts. This is looking at the last night's European run, total snow-to-share ratio in inches. So put this in motion. You can see the big amounts, especially as we're going into Friday afternoon, even for eastern Washington, Cascades, Oregon, Washington, Blue Mountains, Vancouver Island, and British Columbia getting some nice snowfalls out of this as well. Go all the way up through the 10-day period. And you can see winter definitely not over, especially for the higher terrain here across much of the Pacific Northwest. You'll notice these scant amounts across the Willamette Valley, Puget Sound. We're not expecting a disruptive snowfall for lower elevations west of the Cascades right now, although we could see a few flakes flying at times. And we'll watch things, as we go day by day and try to highlight any snow threat that may emerge. It just becomes increasingly difficult to actually get accumulating snowfall down to the lower elevations this time of year. It seems like I've said that about 100 times here over the last couple of weeks. Now, this is looking at 24-hour totals here. So this is a running 24-hour total. Now here we go on into Friday. You can see the amounts really increase as we go on in through Friday evening here. And you can see a few inches as possible across some areas of eastern Washington, Spokane, Pullman out there, Blue Mountains, some east slopes of the Cascades, lower elevations there might get some snowfall as well. And when I say lower elevation in eastern Washington, it's all pretty high out there, but I'm speaking in relative terms to the Cascades or the Blue Mountains or the higher terrain as you go off to the east there. So yeah, 24-hour running snowfall total here. Mountain snows continue on in through mid-March off and on. Taking a look here, this is Seattle-Tacoma. Maybe we'll start to get some 50s showing up here as we go on in through early next week. Maybe a little bit more of a warm flow starting across the region there, but still down into the 30s for overnight lows. No promises there. We'll see how this trends. Taking a look at Portland. Similar signal here. Maybe we'll start warming up a bit here as we get off into mid-March. Spokane, same thing here. Pretty chilly up until then, though, as you can see. These overnight lows, and that storm system comes rolling in here. It's going to be an interesting day here on Friday for some of eastern Washington and Oregon up through eastern BC as well. Now, taking a look at avalanche danger, you can see there is some moderate across the region here. Extends down through the Oregon Cascades as well. A little bit higher out through some of the higher terrain of Idaho here. So, yeah, good website there. Click if you want more information. 6 to 10 day temperature outlook still below normal here. Chances across Pacific Northwest. 8 to 14 day. You can see the West Coast mainly below average here as we go through March 20th. And if you didn't see this yesterday, Nino 3.4 is where we measure the ENSO conditions. And right now that puts us in neutral technically. So yeah, we have climbed out of La Nina conditions across the central Pacific here. But I caution you, it can take months to stop La Nina's grip on the atmosphere. Sometimes it takes 2 full months to actually start the La Nina will hold its effects still across some of the Pacific for a while after the conditions have erased themselves across the equatorial Pacific there. And the models have been doing a pretty good job here. As you know, if you've been watching this channel over the last few months, it's been showing this climb out as we go into February and March. And now we are officially out of La Nina conditions across the equatorial Pacific. And we're supposed to be climbing out towards El Nino conditions, maybe in a moderate El Nino. We'll see how this trends by the time we get to summer and fall of 2023. So yeah, if you're lucky enough to get sun breaks today, get out and enjoy them while you can before the next round of showers moves overhead. You know, this has been going the last few days, and you can see Oregon a little bit more cloudy today versus Washington. That thunderstorm threat along the coastal areas there, and we're going to continue this low pressure system here. We're going to develop a stronger storm as we go through Friday and the weekend, remain active through early next week. So yeah, the La Nina winter/spring continues to impact the Pacific Northwest here. So anyway, hope you guys are having a good day. If you want to join the channel here, I'm doing a giveaway. So it might be a members only giveaway. It's a pretty significant giveaway of what I'm doing here. I'm probably going to give away a weather station actually. So if you want to click join and help support the page, click down below the video here. You'll see the join button, click there, and you'll be automatically added to the giveaway. So this is the first heads up about it. I'll probably go into a little bit more detail on this in the next day or two before I actually do the giveaway here. But if you're a member, you're going to be automatically entered in the giveaway here. So anyway, hope you guys are having a good day. We'll do this again tomorrow. We'll check out the model trends on the storm coming up here, and I'll talk to you guys then.